Hi everybody, and welcome to the magic of drawing. I'm TJ. You know, drawing has always been the most wonderful and magical experiences of my life. I am so happy to bring the magic of drawing to you and in your studio and help you become a better artist as well. Now, I tend to draw fast, so now you can pause me, you can rewind me, you can slow me down, you can fast forward, or you can choose whatever feature or lesson you really want to learn over and over again. In fact, you and I can draw anytime you want to. I'll be there waiting for you. I've got my pencils. I'm ready to draw, so let's let the magic begin.
Welcome, friends. Let's grab a pencil and we'll draw again. We'll make some magic and it all begins right here with me and you. From my lighthouse studio at Pencil Point, USA. Together we can change the world in oh so many ways. Let's start today.
One of the greatest drawing tools ever invented is called the Smudging Stump. I call it the magic wand of drawing because it truly is a magical tool when it comes to pencil illustrating. I love it above all other stuff that I draw with because it does so many cool effects with our gray shading and our rainbows and all the cool things a pencil can do. The magic wand makes it even better. When you buy a magic wand, in the kit you're going to see one that looks just like this. Now it's white compressed paper. So you don't want to try to sharpen it or paper is just going to blow all over the place. It's just compressed paper that is used to smear the graphite into the pores of the paper. How gracefully you can do that comes with practice and eventually into your style. The more you draw with these brand new white ones, they're going to turn out looking like the 3 samples I have here. And you can see how dirty they get. That's exactly what I want. Now it's time to draw a campfire and chimney, the smoke that rises from them, using our magic wand. Now I'm going to use a new one as well as my old ones that I've been drawing a lot of drawings with. So I'm going to show you how to embed a little bit more graphite on there when we draw some really dark smoke. Let's go to the board and draw some fire in our fireplace or in our campfire right now. Now I'm going to take my number 2 pencil. I always like to do my preliminary sketches with a nice sharp number 2 pencil, and I don't bear down really hard when I'm drawing the logs or something or whatever it is I'm drawing. If I need to go in and erase something, it's not too dark. Now that ebony pencil can get really dark and sometimes hard to erase and leave a ghost in your work. So do your preliminary sketches with a nice sharp number 2 pencil, and I'm drawing a couple of logs. You can see the round part. Now all they are is just cylinders. We've talked about cylinders before. They look like little straws right now. Oh, let's say there's one facing us here where it's coming out of the fire. And now to draw fire, I like to turn the pencil to its side a little bit. Not going to give it a real big flame, but I want to focus on the fire and the smoke that's rising from it. Now look how that's just little zigs and zags, a little curling, whipping flame. Now I want to add a little detail to these tree limbs, or the logs in the fire. Now I am going to go to my ebony for the burned part of this wood. By going into the burned part first, I always like the darkest shadows first, and drag my pencil roughly. Look how my hand's kind of jiggling and wiggling. Well, I want that effect because it breaks apart that pencil and allows the paper speckles to appear and gives me a cool little texture. In texture drawing, we're going to learn a whole bunch more about how to create that effect and all kinds of different textures. All right, now out here on the end, it's probably not quite as burned yet, so I'm going to add a little bit of what's called definition, define that line just a little more, and maybe hint to a little bit of bark on it. Now a little less light is going to hit here because our fire has become my light source, and that light is not going to be wrapping around hitting this end of the little fire log, so I'm going to darken it just a little. Use my finger and give it a little bit of tonal value. Do the same thing with this one. The light's not going to hit around this end, so I'm going to lay down just a little gray base. Take the ebony and define those lines. Just improve my preliminary sketch now to a little bit more of a finished art line. Go into the dark pockets here where it's scorched and burning. I'm going to allow this area in here because I want to draw some of that fire actually coming off of these logs. So I'm going to swirl that black around where it's charred. A little darker under here maybe. Little bit of tree bark showing here. A little bit of pattern of the wood, and we're going to cover that later on in textures as well. All kinds of textures. Take my finger and tone it down. And look how I'm allowing the white paper to be my reflective light right here. Now this one facing us is also not going to get a lot of light. So I'm just going to drag the width of my pencil, again using the side. Tone it down. Add some definition there. Maybe this one's already broken. Got some jagged edges. Fire's already broken that piece off. More light is going to be hitting the top. I've got to be aware of that. So I'm not going to have time or room for a lot of detail on the top of that log because the firelight's beaming right down on it. Now, taking the magic wand, I want to soften those fire lines just like that. Add some different tones. Remember, fire isn't just one solid color. There's reds and yellows and oranges and sometimes even bluish green flames. It depends on what's burning. So when I add just some different tonal values, soften down all of the outside fire lines. Soften it down even more with my finger. Now to add the smoke, I'm going to take, I want this to be dark smoke so you can really see it. And I'm going to swirl the smoke around and assume that there's a little bit of a breeze blowing that smoke over towards me. Now that smoke is going to come right out of the fire. I'm going to have some little dark swirling patches of smoke mixed with some white swirling patches, but I need to lay the dark down first. And I'm going to show you how to use the eraser and the stump to create some different tonal smoke values here. Rising up, look how I'm getting bigger, using more and more of the pencil lead as I can. I want a thick puffy cloud right there of smoke, and it's going to start drifting right towards me. Look at that. Thick to thin, thick to thin. Now, take the magic wand. Now, this is a good time, if you've got a new one, to use a magic wand, swirl it around, and start embedding some graphite on it, just like that. This is a good time to do it. More shadow area you have and gray laid down on the paper, the more you can really work that magic wand into being a wonderful drawing tool by getting some graphite embedded on it early. Soften them all down. Use your finger. Stretch that just a little more. Now I can take my eraser, since I've got a wonderful gray base and different variations of color gray tones, I can go in here now and draw a nothingness. Take my eraser. Maybe there's a little white whip of smoke right there. Maybe one right there. Maybe it just cuts across. A really cool effect.
Don't go away. More from TJ coming right up.
Have you ever wanted to be an artist? Wouldn't it be awesome to illustrate realistic artwork with all the shadows and details like this with just a pencil? Have you always believed drawing like this would never be possible?
When I first sat down, I didn't think I could do it.
Now you can learn to draw with America's art teacher, TJ Johnson, in his exciting new How to Draw DVD course called Let the Magic Begin.
He taught me a lot.
TJ is an excellent teacher.
Not only do my students enjoy using it, but my children at home enjoy it, and we have a lot of fun with it.
I had a great time drawing with TJ.
Got my pencils. I'm ready to draw, so let's let the magic begin.
You're going to love drawing with TJ. Right away in Disc 1, TJ will teach you the 5 magic lines, geo shapes, 10 fantastic shading techniques, and how to shade different times of the day.
It was very easy.
He builds on the creativity that sort of lives within each one of us.
And then you'll learn how to draw with a smudging stump to create the subtle tonal values of a misty waterfall, mountain mist, campfire, chimney smoke, and how to create storm clouds.
TJ is an excellent teacher. He's extremely entertaining, he's very informative, and he's inspiring.
Drawing with TJ was easy.
My very first drawing just amazed me.
Hours of personal instruction with America's art teacher, TJ Johnson.
Follow that creative dreamer and draw, draw, draw. So long, everybody.
It's more than just the basics of drawing.
TJ is a lot of fun.
For more free lessons and tips, tricks, and cool techniques, visit tjsmagicofdrawing.com.
Got my pencils. I'm ready to draw, so let's let the magic begin. Now if I'm going to draw a chimney right next to it, I'm going to do the same type of an effect. Let's draw the top of the chimney here. It's just like the flat top of our cubes that we've drawn. We'll make it kind of a little cartoony chimney. Now the smoke's going to be rising out of there and also becoming our light source up here. I need to determine now my shadows. Again, taking the side of my ebony. Let's create our block wall there. Define our lines a little more after I quickly, preliminarily sketched in my guidelines of what I wanted to do. Add a little more definition. If you want to go ahead and draw the black hole, the chimney part itself, the shaft of dark there, you can. I'm going to cover a lot of that with smoke, but at least now you know where it's going to be. Now I say our light source is coming from here. And it's going to cast a little shadow on this side and this side. Paint my gray. Take the magic wand and really soften that down. Look at that nice little dark to lighter blend there. Now this is going to cast a cool little shadow. Look how the magic wand makes that little shadow rock right there. Doesn't that look cool? That's what the magic wand can do. That is the magic. Our finger, the weight of the pencil, couldn't have handled that cool little technique. Now let's add some smoke to that little chimney. I'm going to take, again, the ebony. Randomly swirl some smoke and let it come over this way as well. Maybe it goes up a little higher. Whips out this way until the wind catches it and it just softly disappears, and that's what the magic wand can do. It can make anything softly disappear. Maybe there's a big cloud right there, this big puff before it disappears into the wind. Take the magic wand, swirl it and blend it into your paper. You can extend that past where your pencil is drawn. In fact, when you do, look how much softer that outer edge becomes. It feels really neat to draw with the magic wand. It's an exciting tool because so many wonderful things are happening when you're using it that it just excites you and it really turns you on to drawing. It really, I think, is the greatest drawing tool I've ever seen. Soften it down with my finger. Now take the little cutter eraser and see how my finger's getting graphite on it. I could actually do smoke with just it right now for a softer tone. Take that cutter, cut in some eraser lines, just some little whippy lines. Oh, they get caught by the wind right there and zip away. Simple as that. Anything with mist, anything with fire and smoke, the magic wand is made for. In fact, clouds are one of the most exciting things to draw, so let's do a storm cloud next. See you next time, and remember, life is art, so draw something beautiful. Follow that creative dreamer and draw, draw, draw. So long, everybody.
For more free tips, tricks, and cool techniques, visit tjsmagicofdrawing.com.